The bottom line is only a massive miracle is going to get us out of this. There's no practical way. Iran is going to have a nuclear bomb. Hezbollah has 400,000 rockets. I mean, it's an impossible situation. But in 48, it was also impossible. They did it anyway. This is worse. They're much more sophisticated now. And they have Iran behind them. So only a miracle. So do you think a miracle is going to happen? Of course. What's the question? What's the question? Miracle is going to happen. So if you really believe it, then start celebrating now. Celebrate the miracle that is going to happen. It's like the Jews in Mitzrayim. Hashem tells the Yidden to put blood on their doors so that their house will be recognizable. Does God really need blood on the door to know if you're Jewish? So it is so clear. You're the civilian, and you should not suffer from the plague. But if you're a civilian, announce it, show it. Do something to show that you're a civilian and not an Egyptian. That's how you become a civilian. If you're not going to do anything. Secondly, when the sea split and we crossed the Yam Suf, the women were dancing with tambourines. That's what the Torah says. Miriam and the women took out their tambourines, and why do they have tambourines? You need tambourines when you go into a desert? Huh? Because the women were so sure that there's going to be miracles, that you're going to have to dance, that in advance they took the... So we're so sure that there's going to be a miracle, we should start dancing now. It's the Jewish way. So should we be frightened? Not at all. Should we be careful? Of course. Always have to be careful. But scared? If they can scare you, then they can hurt you. If they can't scare you, they can't hurt you. If you don't surrender, you're safer than if you do surrender. No. How can we be so sure that there's going to be miracles? Oh, because there always was. All right. But you're sure? Pray for them. Are you sure? So there are some rabbis not so sure. Why are they not so sure? Because I don't know, do we deserve a miracle? And they find all sorts of things that we're doing wrong. You say, you're talking Lashon Hara, you're not keeping Shabbos. That's a serious problem. Why are we so sure there's going to be a miracle? Not because we deserve it, which we do, but that's not why. We know there's going to be a miracle because Hashem needs us more than we need him. So whether we deserve or not, he needs us. Yes or no? So if he needs, of course he's going to do a miracle for his own sake.
Can you elaborate why he needs us?
One more thing. I'll get back to it. How are you so sure that you're going to get married and you're going to have children? How are you so sure? Everybody thinks, okay, I'll get married, I'll have some children. Why do you think you're going to get married? And why do you think you're going to have children? Oh, everybody does. No. You're sure that you're going to get married and you're going to have children because Hashem wants you to be married more than you want to be married. It's his idea. And he wants you to have children more than you want to have children. They're his children. They're B'nai Yisrael. So will he really let you get married? He's desperate for you to get married. You don't have to convince him. You just have to cooperate with him. Does he want you to have children? Oh, more than you do. So you have to convince him and beg him? No. Just cooperate. The same with, will there be miracles? Of course there can be miracles. What is Hashem without the Jewish people? Can't be. Why did he create us in the first place? Because we need? No thanks. He created us because he needs us. In fact, when God said to Adam, it is not good to be alone, he meant himself. He was explaining to Adam why he's creating him. He says, I'm creating you because it's not good to be alone. And I was all alone. Now I created you, I'm not alone. But you also don't want to be alone, so I'm going to create a wife. So literally, getting married is because you don't want to be alone. Why don't you want to be alone? Because God doesn't want to be alone, and you're created in his image. That makes sense? We don't want to be alone because it's not godly to be alone. If you're capable of being alone, it's much easier and much better to be alone. Which is why people are always saying, leave me alone. If it's so terrible to be alone, why are people always saying, will everybody just leave me alone? Oh, you want to be alone? The human being wants to be alone. Unless I can't. If I can't function, then I need help. But that's an unhealthy human being. A healthy human being doesn't need anybody. Get out of my life, leave me alone. We hate being alone because of something godly in us, not human. So the human part of me wants to be left alone. The godly part of me cannot accept being alone. Just like God. He was alone. He was perfect. He had everything. Didn't like it. So God says, I'm creating you because I can't be alone. So does he need us? He needs us enough to create an entire universe. So yes, there are going to be miracles. It's sad that we need miracles. That's very sad. Why do you need a miracle? Because the nature of the world is really bad. So you need something supernatural.
Where was the miracle